Again, Jake and I today have a few things we like to talk to you about. First, Jake and I are enjoying watching this. We watched this year's Super Bowl. I must admit, it's been a while since I last watched a Super Bowl game. The two or three I remember the most are Joe Namath's surprising win in 1969, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl in 2001. Actually, it was 2002. The season started in 2001. And also his victory in Tampa Bay in 2020. And I must admit, I enjoyed this year's game. Since I came to Canada in 1967, I have found that the U.S. football game, the rules are kind of boring compared to the Canadian rules. For those that don't know, Canadian football is played on a larger field. It has 12 players instead of 11. They only have 3 downs instead of 4. A point is awarded to the opposition anytime a team can't get the ball out of their end zone. The wider field and 3 downs makes it for a more exciting game. The 3 down rule also makes it more difficult for a team to kill off the last few minutes of a close game. It's a wide open game than the U.S., making it more entertaining. Just a view from an old fart. I did find the relationship with Taylor Smith, Swifties, and the Chiefs wide receiver interesting. The fly from the States to Tokyo to Las Vegas, then back to Australia has got to be quite a commitment. And I hope it works out for both of them. But then, during the Super Bowl parade, some teenagers decided it was a good time to take revenge by shooting into a crowd. There were 3 shootings that day. It resulted in 3 deaths and over 28 wounded. Yet we continue to get thoughts and prayers as the solution. How long is it going to take before people realize the Second Amendment is an amendment because the Founding Fathers did not want to embed that into the Constitution? It was done because they thought over time, as things changed, they wanted a government of the future to have the flexibility to amend those amendments. We may well be in a time we no longer need a militia, as we now have a standing military, and we do have to protect the rights of citizens to own guns for hunting and protection. But AK-15s and high-capacity clips, I think are a bit too much. That aside, we've been going through some of our files that go back to nearly 50 years and deciding what we should keep and what we should chuck. Doing this, I came across a portable radio my wife gave me in 1985. It was bought by her after I dropped and smashed a portable radio that my folks gave me in 1955. That radio has allowed me to be one of the first, the first radio, was allowed me to be the first to take music on tour to our favorite beach. I thought having a radio for 30 years was quite an accomplishment. But the Bathmate radio, which I just showed you, is still with us after 39 years. Today, most people replace the communication devices every few years. So for having one for 69 years for 2 radios has to be quite an accomplishment. No bragging, but I'm glad I have had them. It is hard to believe that people will believe what people will believe in. Jake is getting a little rambunctious, so I think we'll be putting him down. Come on down, Jake. That boy. What I'm getting for is particularly how Trump continues to hoodwink so many people into believing he's still the best candidate to be president. He attacks judges and lawyers, saying they are politically motivated, but ignores the fact that juries made up of Joe citizens are the ones who have convicted him. Nobody wants 2 very senior citizens running for president, but it seems that's the choice we're going to have. So it gets down to selecting a known crook versus electing grandpa. Personally, I prefer grandpa. Now, up here in Alberta, we have a mini MAGA party running the provincial government. They are in the process of introducing a cost-developed curriculum for schools, working on reducing the public support for health system by encouraging private health facilities, and they're now passing bills that will restrict teen transgender folk from receiving health care and force them to reveal their situation at a time that is not of their particular choosing. Well, that's what it looks like right now, and Jake and I have to go because there's a ball that needs to be thrown and chased. Bye now.